Game number 3. Because PSISTORM and Flick of the Wrist, somebody is going to the round of 8 and possibly even the ESL Majors. Who knows? Game 3 is going to be on a map that is very dear to some of our hearts, and some maybe not so much. But our last match of the day, or at least for these guys, will be Sky Temple. So let's check out what they're doing for a draft. The teams are still blue and red, so that makes my life super easy. First pick is actually going to be Flick of the Wrist today. So they will get first, and they are going to ban out Sylvanas. Good game. Well played, Sylvanas. See you later, kid. Illidan is going to be the flip side because PSISTORM does not want to deal with it. They played very well with it, and they know that there's a heck of a lot of horror that could go on there. Anubarak is going to be the first up for Flick of the Wrist because why not? Beatles for everyone. I fully expect to see him in every game today. On like real talk, he's going to be in every game. Because nobody's going to ban him, and everybody will want to play him. Beatles are just so good right now. Something like 60% plus win rate in Hotslogs ranking, which is ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. People are supposed to be bounced around 50. 60 plus is just ridiculous, as I said. All right, back to the lovely ladies of the Storm. Jaina Brightwing will join the crew here for PSISTORM. The Brightwing is a very key pick up here because of the map presence and the map potential for that global. So not only that, but you're very likely to see her with promote at level 4, possibly even bribe level 1, depending on how PSISTORM would like to play her. So, bam. All right. Next pickup here from Flick of the Wrist. We've seen quite a bit, but Kael'thas is actually still available. I wouldn't expect to see a Kerrigan. We have been seeing a lot of flex today, so a Tastor or a Tyrande, perhaps even an Uther here. Flick of the Wrist really does want to set something up for them, but Flick will take Tyrande, and I will pick the right one this time. So she'll be joining the bug. And Vala? Yeah, so Valis is a ban. Vala could easily be a pickup here. You need a nice solid back-end DPS to go against that Jaina, and it's either going to be a Kael'thas or a Vala, I feel. Flick of the Wrist, although, might take away Mirrodin, because PSISTORM has now run 2 games in a row with that Mirrodin, and it's clearly a favored pick for them. If they don't, I fully expect to see PSISTORM pick it up in this next pick round. And we got 85 seconds of pool time for Flick of the Wrist to figure out what he wants to do here. With the Tyrande, though, I mean, you got a lot of information control with Owls. You got a lot of stun control with Lunar Blaze. You have a lot of DPS potential with Hunter's Mark. So comboing that down with a nice DPS can go a long way in fights, especially if you have triple DPS. I wouldn't expect to see that here. Fully expect to still see a solid healer. But it also enables teams with lower burst potential to, ratchet up another notch. Because 25% from level 1, or 20%, or whatever ridiculous number it is still a very powerful tool overall. Flick does not know what they want to do here. So PSISTORM, as I said, likely to go for a Mirrodin. They have a Brightwing. Could see a Tyrael. They don't want to deal with the Tyrael and Uberak. And Flick will not take the Falstad, but they will take. They won't take the Vala. They will take a Falstad. So they did take damage here, just not the damage I expected them to take. But that will put a little bit of global presence now on the map for them to counter out, hopefully, the Brightwing. You could easily go Bribe here as well for a Falstad. There's a lot of Merc camps on this map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 Merc camps. So it's a possibility. I don't expect him to take it. I fully expect to see a Power Throw because it's, as a talent, Power Throw is ridiculously budgeted well. Kudos to the Heroes team because Power Throw is just an amazing level 1 talent overall. So I fully expect to see that, not a bribe, but you never know. Some people might think otherwise. Uther is going to be... What? Uther? Okay. Uther to join Brightwing.
No man.
Could this be a Thrall? Illidan's banned. Could be a Kerrigan. Kerrigan Tyrael? Tyrael Kerrigan? Tyrael Vala? Why with the double support? They have to be setting up for something. I'm just not entirely too sure what. Thrall? Could be a Thrall. Thrall with Sunder? Nope. It is the Vala. So they do actually solidify Vala to go with the Jaina. But, whew, man. Double support. All right. Did not expect to see that tonight in ESL Open, but there it is. So what can Flick of the Wrist do here? They know that they have a heck of a lot of support to go through. They're going to need some high DPS options. They could go for the Tyrael to complement the Anubarak, but that's not exactly high DPS options. And now with the Vala Jaina already taken out, it almost feels like that they have to take a Kael'thas here. Kael'thas's burst potential is second to none. And the only way to defeat that kind of sustain is either to out-sustain it yourself and go triple heals, if you count Tyrande as a healer, or you have to go massive burst. But if you go massive burst and you actually fail to burst someone down, then you're in trouble. So will it be the triple heals? I doubt it, but Rhaegar is now on the board. So this game has taken an interesting turn. It cannot be a Tyrael. I don't think it could be a Tyrael. Who else do we have for damage? Zagara, Sergeant Hammer, Kael'thas, Nazeebo? Vikings. No, I wouldn't go with Vikings in this regard. There's just, the lanes are too weird. Although you could counter and say Vikings are good in any regard because they're just good. Asmodan, no. Maybe? If you really want to get crazy. I think PSISTORM is just really throwing Flick of the Wrist a loop with this double heals. They don't know what they want. They got a few seconds here to figure it out. Murky, come on, Murky. No, Murky, I don't think Murky would do anything against double heals. Wow, color me impressed. It will be once more the Zeratul.
I serve.
All right. Quite the comp from Flick of the Wrist. Quite the comp, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I could have predicted that in any of my scenarios. We now need a warrior here from PSISTORM. Where's the Mirrodin? Where's the Tyrael? Yeah, Mirrodin or Tyrael. I would go with those. PSISTORM has really shown love to both of those heroes. And Anubarak's already taken. So, unless they really want to set up like a pseudo-tank like Kerrigan. Kerrigan or Thrall is a pseudo-tank. Are they going to do that? Are they going to make it happen? The risk is really high. It's a big map. And winner of this moves on to round of 8. I mean, this is tournament life on the line. No, they're going to go safe. But it wasn't actually either the Warriors that I expected. It is an elite Tauren Chieftain. So, today I learned, ladies and gentlemen. Today I learned. So, this will be the last match of this best of 3 before we move on to another. And it will be PSISTORM and Flick of the Wrist with these rosters. Double tank into double support. And the Rhaegar with the flex from Flick of the Wrist. I was very curious to see if we're going to see like Rhaegar Lily or something with Water Dragon from Flick of the Wrist. I think that would have been amazing. But yeah, good luck, have fun is actually said here in the chat. So we're very likely just moments away here from starting. And when we get to it, this will be it. This is tournament life right here. PSISTORM and Flick of the Wrist. Thank you so much for everyone that has been following. I've been noticing the follow counter going off between breaks. It is all much appreciated. If you do like the stream, of course, and the production, do got some emotes, and you got yourself a little hat there for the subscription options. Mr. Shane Gucci there, represent. He's basically the model subscriber at this point. So you could always say, ask him about the awesomeness of being an FCJ subscriber. Everything is always appreciated. Your name will pop up on the screen, and at some point I'll figure out sub rewards. Yeah. So, shameless promotions out. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to hit the buttons. You're going to see more and more tournaments as release is now basically on the horizon here. And for anyone that is enjoying the NA coverage, of course, I'm doing EU Gosu Cup tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is in 13 and a half hours. It'll be a heck of a night of sleep, I'll tell you that. They're asking if I'm ready once more. Good luck, have fun, guys. Last match hype, as we're going to get into this one momentarily. And just for fun, there's the fade. Yeah. Teams are looking good, man. I've been really enjoying the play from both sides. I got to say, Flick of the Wrist, game number 1 definitely wasn't their forte, but such a strong way to go in game number 2. I have no idea how this is going to go. I really don't. But both of these teams really showing their stuff strutting it here on stream as it is. If either of them get into ESL majors, I'll be super happy for them. But of course, you know, that's where the big boys lie. It's Cloud9, TempoStorm, 2Arc, Zevron. Not Zevron, I lied. Stellar Lotus, Zevron soon to be, I think. We'll have to see if they actually do hit any qualifiers. But, you know, only way to play, only way to get better is ESL tournaments, man. ESL tournaments. All right. PSISTORM and Flick of the Wrist. Yes. Game 3 hype, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bets. Place your bets. Forecourt dealer right here. Alucio, Q-Tank, Q-Tank? Chris Lowe, Karate Kid, and Vital will be making up the PSISTORM team once more as Tall, Schooled, E-Dubs, Shales, and I'm missing a name. Radlock. Making up Flick of the Wrist. Now it does look like it's going to be the 5-man death ball. Who will die for the eye? It will be up in the air. 3, perhaps 4 going there, but Q-Tank does get a little bit of a lead, and bam, they get spotted out. Talls, you going to make a play? Gonna make a play? Nope, not in a good enough position. Now we do got Vital thinking maybe I should get in range. Nope. Nobody will die for the eye. In fact, it will just be lane. So Lucio into the top. E-Dubs. Looks like he's gonna be holding the fort. Tall's coming mid there with Shale. Schooled. Will we see a roam? I'm not entirely too sure we'll see a lot of roam. I don't really like the roaming options here. If it is gonna be a roam from Flick of the Wrist, it will be Schooled and Talls, which sounds weird, but they're really kind of the best option there. Because Shale's coming down to here. I mean, Vital's actually already low. This could be a successful, if that had hit, gank. Radlock does pay for it with a lot of hit points, though. So Shales is going to have to cover for him. Or not. Yep, cover for him. Oh, he saw the scouting drone. That's where he was going. So it will be the 2 versus 3 men here mid. Top, E-Dubs and Alucio. I would be very surprised to see a kill actually happen there. Shales is now going to come mid, but we will have Temples spawning right now. So a little bit of damage finds that Q-Tank. Q-Tank has played 3 separate heroes tonight. Anubarak, Tyrael, and now Uther. A little bit of a flexible player, I'll tell you that. Bottom lane has both flyers, so Vito and Radlak trying to get as much experience for the teams before they fly up. Here comes the Falstead into the mid, but it's going to be the Rhaegar caught out. I have no idea if... Did he come down like this? That was silly. Flick of the wrist. Don't do that. Don't do that. Shales and Alucio going to be heading a little bit of head-to-head. Brightwing not even caring. Brightwing just going to push out the lane once more, possibly come up then. But we got Q-Tank here to heal everyone. The Brightwing doesn't have to leave. Uh-oh. Coughing. Bad. Brightwing doesn't have to leave. We have Uther here to heal up PSISTORM. So, will he come? Yeah, he's going to come now because there's a big fight. And the Polymorph is going to deny Zeratul any semblance of escape. Really nice kind of stuff here from PSISTORM because not only did they get that first early Rhaegar kill, but now the Zeratul, and they pushed out the bottom this entire time, and they taking pretty much this entire temple. You can already see the difference in experience. 2 extra waves bottom and 2 extra kills to their name. Level 4 to nowhere even close to 4 as of yet. Now, Talls is going to get some shots off into this top, but will they be able to stay? I have really big doubts. I don't think they can contest this. They're not even level 4, and they're going up against now level 5. Tyrande, though, is really going to make a late entrance to this. We've already spent a lot of the shots here. It is going down fairly significantly. They're going to try to contest this anyway. Stuns come out yet again on top of Shales. That will force him into the bag. Talls has already taken multiple beatings, not only from the enemy team, but from these mercs, and they won't be able to finish contesting this. The rest of the shots will go over to PSISTORM, and that will be enough, I think, for this tower. Depends on the scatter shots. Yeah, the scatter shots are going to come out. There's nothing left here to contest. It will not be the tower. Okay, actually, most of those hit the fort, which is kind of funny. RNG, please. But the entire team is up here from Flick of the Wrist. They're not soaking anywhere else. They're a full level behind, and Vital has Promote. That is a dangerous thing on a map with a mobile Brightwing. Not only do we have the scouting drone for the vision and the information control, but now with Promote as well, if we have Falstead leave prematurely in lanes again, Vital can push out, grab all this experience, and then Promote and leave lane. It is a devastating way to get a lot of free damage into those non-existent lanes. So We'll have to see, you know, how well that works. Vital now is going to be trying to fight out Radlock. Actually, it was Radlock that jumped on top of Vital, but there's not too many places Vital can go here. There's no stuns, but there is enough damage, and he will not get out. And this is a good opportunity for Flick of the Wrist to soak some experience uncontested. There's only Karate Kid mid. There's only Kotank top. They are grabbing the bruisers. So PSISTORM does not have anyone to spare into this bottom lane, and this is exactly what Flick of the Wrist needs. A little bit more experience to their name. You can see that level diminished significantly. Shales is here. There's no healer. Lucio and Crystal don't have the heals, and they're going to give up. Oh, nope, Shales got off it. Get back on that point, buddy. Yeah, Radlock going to fly in. That is the successful steal of those bruisers. Great play from Flick of the Wrist. Can they actually even get a kill here? Yes, it will be the Vala. And again, that experience lead diminished once more. Another order of magnitude. Almost level 7 to just over level 7. All of a sudden, Flick of the Wrist, not that far behind. They've equalized those kills. They got some really good soak bottom lane with the kill on top of the Brightwing, and they stole out these bruisers because of the scouting potential of the Zeratul. Immediately, the Falstad flies in. Immediately, the team collapses, and PSISTORM have given up a sizable early game lead because of it. Really nice play, and once again, going back and forth. I have no idea who's going to win this, but both teams are playing phenomenally well for the ESL Opens, and I would not be complaining about either of them joining the majors. Of course, it's not like they win and join majors. They still have to fight for it, but really good stuff so far from both teams. Level 7s are both here. We got some Giants, and once more, we got Brightwing, who's likely to just promote and then leave. We have a Mule on the level 7 side of Flick of the Wrist, and that is from the Tyrande. The Mule is a really good pick here. Not only up against that promote, but of course against lasers and beams and pew, pew, pew. Right now, we are not able to contest this bottom tribute. Or this bottom shrine. It is going to go pretty much uncontested over to Flick of the Wrist, and that is some, again, great experience going into their pocket. Problem is they're losing out top. They've now lost that other tower. There goes the well. We have a fly-in here from Radlock. Vital. Yeah, wow, that was a little bit late on the polymorph, but Lucio was trying to come up there as well. Found Shales, who has been doing a pretty good job roaming around the place. So any kind of big experience deficit was kind of negated, but now that Radlock is up here, now that Shales is up here, and again, that Mule coming down for great justice, the experience lead is struggling to stay ahead here from PSISTORM. Level 9 for both teams. There goes some Giants. That's going to force the hand of PSISTORM to kind of contest this. This is a very narrow area. If we had 10, we could easily set up for a VP, but we don't quite have it yet. But still, a lot of PSISTORM is now bottom. We have the good potential of bruisers to push down top, and the next temples, I believe, are top and bottom. So if they push down the bruisers with top, and then they go for the bottom shrine, you're putting up some really good map pressure here from Flick of the Wrist. But both teams are about to hit level 10, more or less at the same time. Schooled and Crew are going to be a little bit later to it. 10 and... where's the 10? There it is. All right. What do we got? Strafe, Divine Shield. Summon Water Elemental. Don't know from ETC. It's going to be the Mosh. And now Blink Heal here from the Brightwing. On the flip side, Starfall, Hinterland Blast, Ancestral Healing, Locust Swarm, and Void Prison. So pretty much the expected stuff. Vala with the Strafe. We've seen some Rain of Vengeance tonight. This is, I don't think we had a Strafe. Did we even have a Vala last game? We might have. I can't actually remember. There's too many games running together. Uther is actually going to be the big gank top. So that's the big story. And he's going to have to wander around and heal, but then he's going to go down, and I fully expect to see temples. There they are. Temples spawning, and it's a good time because now, again, you know, they can actually just push out the top a little bit and just go for a free temple bottom, or because now we have the experience lead, Flick of the Wrist is going to try to make a statement here and try to fight PSISTORM at this top temple. They tried to get Vital. They didn't. They tried. But they will actually successfully get top, and it looks like it will be now the rotation from PSISTORM instead to trade out for the top for the bottom. Shale's looking for a little bit of damage on top of Kotank. Doesn't actually grab it. And, you know, while they trade out, ooh, could be a big kill here on top of Kotank. Body blocks are going to come in. There's the totem. Stuns is going to get cleansed. Nope, not cleanse. How did that happen? Oh, it was cleanse. We have double cleanse. Oh, I didn't even catch that. Double cleanse, and not only Vital, but Kotank. So the cleanse was good. Kotank survives. Falstad has been doing work top. He's a little worse for wear, but there's nobody here to gank him. Whereas we have had a Lucio now pretty much on this point since the beginning. So we will trade out the turrets. We will trade out the shrines, but oh, the 5-man collapse on bottom is enough for Rhaegar. He's going to go the way of the curb. And this will be, I want to say, a bottom fort. It should be a 4v5. We don't have the heals, and Falstad is not flying bottom yet. So with the Mercs and the 5-man pressure that will be coming out momentarily here from Lucio, that is the fort. There it goes. Experience lead back into the PSISTORM pocket. And while we got a little bit of a lull, let's look at some of these talents, because I did not see that double cleanse. Good stuff, though, for the double cleanse. Protective shield, we saw the promote a little bit earlier. On the flip side, Call Down Mule, we saw from Tyrande earlier. She's been using it non-stop. Power Throw and Gathering Power for the secret weapon? That's, I expected Boomerang myself, but secret weapon it is. All right. Earthshield, Farsight, the triple beetles, and actually the same build here from Shades as last time. Regen Master, Gathering Power, Void Slash. So he is saying if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I gotta say the Zeratul darting in and around the place has been doing fairly well for himself. But experience lead is finicky. It has been going back and forth repeatedly. It is basically still a tie game. It's 3 kills each. They both have 1 fort down. They're both level 13. It's a very even set of matches here. That early plays from Flick really did keep them in after they were down a whole level. So level 13 comes out. We do got the multi-shot, shrink ray, sprints. A mosh pit on top of Tyrande. Oh, the Void is so good. Keeps Karate Kid and Vital out of it. Here comes the laser. They're looking for the kill on top of Alicio, and they are going to grab it. There goes the Battle Cow. Low hit points there on top of Vital, and here comes that Ancestral on top of Talls, keeping him healthy. He can easily go for the dive. But it doesn't look like he's gonna. Instead, they should. Nope, he's going. He is diving. They're looking for Vital with that blink in from Shells, with that wormhole, and they nearly take home the right wing kill. It will instead now only be this fort, as I was expecting it to be. And, Temples should be in the next 60 seconds or so, I want to say. Well, the next 30 seconds or so. I was pretty close. Temple, it will be the only one top. If we grab these bruisers as well and start pushing down, not only will that put pressure top, but the 5-man collapse up there as well could be some keep damage going down. All 3 forts are down for PSISTORM, who, if red does take this temple, it's going to start working on this area, the keep and the gate. So PSISTORM says nuts to that. We're not going to get it. They're down a whole level themselves now. They're going to go for the boss. Now, we do got the Farsight. Farsight says that this is happening. We don't have a VP to stop it. We don't have any kind of Russians, and it's just going to be too little too late. Now, with everybody down here, PSISTORM actually has the map pressure to go grab that top temple. If they hurry. Maybe there's no rush, but if they should have the positioning now to go grab that temple, and there shouldn't be too much that, Flick of the Wrist can do about it. They're too busy with the boss. And if they don't do anything about the boss, they're going to lose this gate. So already you can see Talls. He's heading up. He doesn't find anyone, and he's curious. What is going on? Level 13 for Tyrande once more is the Overflowing Light. We got the Burning Rage, Wormhole. We saw Feral Lunge this time. No spell shield for the Rhaegar. And Lucio is going to be sitting very pretty here on this point. Lasers are going to start working away. Talls, however, is looking for the Karate Kid. Doesn't quite find him, but another fantastic Void Prison into the back. Shales will stay alive. They didn't time it. Radlack is a little too early, or Shales wasn't paying attention. That was a wasted Hinterland's Blast. This is no longer a good position. Oh, the stuns is going to be enough. Mosh Pit against a stun-heavy team like this is gutsy, but here comes the shield on top of Vital. It will keep the Brightwing alive. Hit points going back and forth, very fluid. Everybody is part of these fights, but it does actually look like PSISTORM might decide that it's not worth, and they're going to get out of this one. Had Radlack actually landed the laser damage, would have been a whole different story. But the Rhaegar heals are on point. Shales with that interesting Void Prison. I really expected more out of it, but hey, they are going to be able to scare them off the point. PSISTORM will not contest, and as I said, the lasers will now start working away on the keep area. We do got some Stone Bros into the bottom lane. These towers are now out of ammo. You can see Volstad very interested in making sure that he can stop it. Shales gets discovered into the back line as he comes in for the gank on this Marauder force, which is on top of this fort, but he gets spotted and it will be the retreat from them. Either way, forts are now equalized. Those last few lasers is enough to clear the gate up here, but nothing else. So we still have a very healthy keep selection on both sides. 16 for both teams, a little bit of a lead edging out now once more for Flick of the Wrist. What do we got at 16? Blood for blood, benediction. Is Lucio actually sitting here looking for a mosh? He doesn't have mosh, so I'm very curious. Numbing Blast, once more going for the chill, looking for that movement control. If you chill out, the Zeratul and Collapse could actually be a big swing of things. So we'll see if that actually comes into it. Speed Metal, Rockstar gives the 20% movement speed bonus, and there's the Criterize. 16 on the flip side is True Shot Aura, no longer Shooting Star. That's an interesting pickup for Tyrande. You also notice that this time she did not go Seasoned Marksman, or really any offensive talents. She does have the Ranger's Mark, and of course we've talked about the Mule a few times. Hammer Time for the Falstead. The Hammer Time is actually a really nice setup up against, it gives a stun to Falstead where normally he wouldn't have one. If there's a phase shield that he needs to stun, throw out the attacks with the hammer, get the stun. If you need to stop the mosh pit, throw out the hammer, get the stun. You need to stop a sprinting Jaina, throw out the hammer and get a stun. It's a really kind of cool mechanic to go there, but it's not exactly the most damaging. It's more utility. Everybody was showing top for Flick of the Wrist. They were really pushing it. So everybody was showing bottom here for PSISTORM. And they took the rest of the gate and they started putting up some of that keep pressure, but it's not going to be a fight. Not yet. Level 17 each. This is a really good time for PSISTORM actually to set up a fight. Some of these small areas are really good for Mosh Pit, for Water Elemental, for, well, not Divine Storm because we don't have it, but a big open area like this, it's not going to do Vital any good. And he blink heals out to Kotank, who gets hit by the VP. Lucio is going to go in with that mosh pit, but it's not enough. The laser is going to be there, and they traded out the ETC for the Zeratul. It's low hit points still across the board. Vital really low as well. We do got Uther now healing himself, but the retreat has been sounded for PSISTORM. Their heals are just not enough to deal with this. Could they get a kill on top of E-dubs? They cannot. In fact, it's Talls now being in the front line and being really annoying and going back and forth. It's still going to settle at a 1-for-1 trade. E-dubs has already started out this laser, and the laser's now going to start working away on the mid-keep selection. But Karate Kid is back to full health, has a decent amount of mana. He can really make life hard for the Flick of the Wrist team because he's multi-shot. Frost shots, Arsenal, the composite arrows, that's a lot of ground to cover with that cone. And Flick of the Wrist are actually going to back off from mid. Now, we do have a top temple ready to go still. Zeratul back in action. ETC is back here as well. They could go for the top. In fact, you see ETC already heading that way. Perhaps. He doesn't see anyone on the board. In fact, they should now start seeing people here mid, but it's just not going to be up. There's no engage, and there's nothing left to contest on this mid. The rest of the shots went the way of PSISTORM, and it took out the gate and did a little bit of damage here to the keep. Oh, we got it left. We got a disconnect. We should be seeing a pause here in just a minute. Chrysalo, Jaina, come back to us. Where's the pause? No pause? Gonna play with Jaina bot? Nope, Jaina's back. All right, cool. No pause. Capture the temples is still in effect, teams. There is still the top Crocodile Temple. Nobody wants to go for it as of yet. The rest of the level 18s is, 16s is Earthgrasp, which we've seen actually a few times, and the Rending Cleave once more for the Zeratul. Pop in, get the damage, pop out. That's what he's been doing. He's been doing it well. Blood for blood for the Nubarak to go for the blood for blood with the Vala. That's not really unexpected at this point. Does nobody really know that there's a temple? I think Lucio is finally going to get the message. They don't want to give up boss. That's what they're doing. They can't give up boss. So nobody wants to go for the top temple because a boss at this point, I guess, is more feared than almost an entire top lane. Well, I guess it wouldn't. There's too many towers, so they're right. Either way, boss was started. Flick of the Wrist putting up some damage. He got leashed. Coming back. Use those Beatles Talls. Keep him busy. Lucio is here. Everybody is actually now scattered a little bit. We got some damage there into the lane. We got Brightwing into the top. Oh, there it is. She goes all the way top, gets some shots off. It's going to come right back down. The steal is real. Alucio with the interference play going very nicely here for PSISTORM. Shales in the back with the VP. Will take out the Brightwing, but dies for his trouble. There goes the Jane Elf just flying and cartwheeling through the air as she is now a lifeless corpse. And Karate Kid is going to be on the run. Kotank, can he get away from the fall set? He cannot. And now Alucio is going to be on the run. Karate Kid has to deal with Talls. Can he juke out? So far, yes. But here comes the Falstead with that Tailwind, and you will not get away from the power throw, ladies and gentlemen. 4 kills for 1. Flick of the wrist with the kills. They're going up. They're going to get this tempo, but there's a boss on their bottom keep. The mule is going to come down. I think it's a lost cause. This keep is donezo, at least in my eyes. 1 and 2, and it is good. But at the same time, that top tempo, the last one had already cleared so much of the gate here that this top shrine should net a keep for a keep. And 4 kills to 1, we have so much potential to paint the map red. You can already see these bruisers coming out. And at the same time, level 20 race has a victor, and its name is Flick of the Wrist. What they got at those 20s? 2 shots left, and Radlock is not impressed with his hit points. What do we got for the 20s? Nexus Frenzy. Pretty much an auto attack Falstead through and through. Storm Shield, Hardened Shield, Rewind. Quad Bomb Hype, ladies and gentlemen. Tyrande doesn't know what she wants to go. Come on, Tyrande. Come on. Tell us. Tell us. It's likely to be, I want to say Rewind. Rewind or Blink? Yeah. Rewind or Blink. Oh, Storm Shield. Double Storm Shield. Okay. Going the more safe route. C'est la vie. Level 20 from both sides now as Kotank and crew here on PSISTORM. They're going to get... Wow! They're going to get Vengeance. That is gutsy. There are so many ways for the stuns to come down, for the VPs to go off on top of PSISTORM that Vengeance is not what I expected. But Penetrating Bolts, not something you see every day. Redemption coming out, the Bolt of the Storm for the Jaina, so she can bolt forward, get the root, possibly look for the Falstead or the Zeratul and just obliterate them. Tour Bus as well. Throw down the Mosh Pit, Tour Bus on into some enemies, and there's the Storm Shield from the Brightwing now as well. Because we did have the map advantage, we do have now these bruisers pushing down at top. Talls has thrown out that Locust. He's looking for a fight, but unfortunately he's not going to get one, and that is 1 ultimate down already. It is donezo. That is a problem for Flick of the Wrist because they won't have that survivability for the Beetle in a very important clutch team fight in the next 80 seconds. It's going to be up to PSISTORM to kind of make sure a fight happens in the next 80 seconds so they can capitalize on this window. But because they're stuck defending, they are going to lose out their Giants into the bottom lane. And we have 2 temples now spawning as well. 21-20 for the levels. Here's some of the damage numbers in this game. Absolutely crazy game. Going back and forth as this is game 3, tournament life on the line. Both teams playing out of their minds, but with these temples up, are we going to see a fight? Are we going to see a trade? Are the teams going to go for the all-in? If either team has a naked core at this point, either team can get a wipe and a win. It can happen. And the ambush is coming in. You see it from the Flick of the Wrist. Void Prison doesn't hit anybody, but Radlock will. That laser going right on top of Crystal, who gets hit by an owl on the retreat. PSISTORM is falling. 60-second timers on 3 of their members, and now Kotank is going to be coming. Basically, he's not actually going to be coming. He's going to be going and then coming and then going, but nobody even cares. Like, Kotank 1 and 2, he's going to blow up. He's still not even going to go home because he's going to resurrect. Radlock is going to come up, look for Alucio. If they get this kill, it doesn't even matter if they get this kill. The core is there. Nobody died, and PSISTORM is going to be out of the round of 16, the ESL Americas Open League Finals. Round of 16. They are donezo. Congratulations, Flick of the Wrist. They will move on to the round of 8 to be played at a later date. Phenomenal set of games, ladies and gentlemen, and well deserved to Flick of the Wrist. Flick of the Wrist. Game number 1 did not really impress me. I was kind of curious if this was going to be a 2-0 for PSISTORM, who played much better on that map. But I gotta say, I'm a believer. Flick of the wrist. Oh, flick of the wrist, man. Just... that last team fight was crazy. The Void Prison, while it didn't hit anything, the Hinterlands Blast did. The owl into the back of the retreating Jaina. The kills on top of the double heal PSISTORM team. Congratulations. Apparently, I forgot to update the game number, but it doesn't really matter because Flick of the Wrist will move on 2-1, and they will move on to the round of 8. I think it's top 4 or top... I gotta really look at these. It's either top 8 or top 4 of the ESL Opens get chances at facing off in relegations to ESL Majors. Either way, we're going to be seeing Flick of the Wrist do their best in the round of 8. Best of luck to them. And we're going to be moving on to our next best of 3 series, which is hopefully done. Could be wrong. I have game 1 and 2 here of Wild Growth up against Luxury. So we're going to be loading that up, but in an hour, we actually have live Monsoon go up against Eclipse. So I'm not entirely too sure if we can cover both games, and even if there's a third. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think?